Good morning out there. In there, out there, huh? From in here, out here, where we're having a winter thaw, and the builders over there have a fire going. Vivi's here. Yep, Vivi's nose is here. And look what I have. Well, I should show you this. Look at this. Made by Mark Hiskus. Oh, lucky me. And Vivi, where I flirt. Welcome the sentimentalist, Mariana. Hi, Mark. We're caring about Mariana and Ben, and Jen, Beth, John. You may notice that Vivian has her head. She's lying on a glass, a cup, a glass, whatever it is, of eggnog. Just don't touch it. This says this is the bottom of the eggnog. There's a little story behind this because she has 4, I guess, toys that are her absolute favorites. And all 4 were given to her by daughter Meredith. Yes. No matter what it is, sloth, soggy llama, eggnog. Oh, got your eggnog. And she likes to take them to the door and show them to people who come to visit. And that's really good. This was very touching. Steve Debbink was cleaning out his father's house, I think.
I think so.
And he came across a 1971 collection of poems. Very, poignant. And they were written by a boy 17 years old who then passed away. And it doesn't say in here how, but it kind of hints. But I'm holding this 17-year-old's collection of poems. He was pretty outcast from his school. He wasn't the cool kid. He even quit school after a bit, just too hard. Yeah, so thank you, Mark, very, very much.
Steve, thank you, Steve.
Huh?
You said Mark, thank you, Steve.
I mean Steve. See, names, everybody should have the same name, Larry. That's just it.
Sophie Larry.
Everybody has Larry. We had Christmas on Monday, how's that? Remember how goofy it was on Christmas with all the storms? Now we have a thaw. Big thaw. I thought I thaw a thaw. And we had Christmas on Monday with daughter Meredith. And that was fun. And that's when Vivi got her eggnog. Boy. That's really good. Let me see what's in my book. Oh yeah. This coming week is we have my group meets once a month, 12 of us, plus me, 13. I don't know, it's been close to 15 years, and thanks to Colette Denoyer, we got this started, and what wonderful people. We have one new person joining this time because Mariana Maver's accident. That's Marianne Sundquist from New Mexico, Santa Fe. She's a marvelous chef, has a company called Stokely, so order from them, Stokli. If you want all kinds of things that there's no way to get here, Marianne will send them to you. Stokli, Stokely. And she's going to be joining us, a wonderful poet. Our friend John Newland had 13-hour surgery. 13 hours. How do they do that? That's just incredible. I mean, I don't know, the slowness of it, the teams they have. Yesterday he was doing pretty well. They took him out of an induced coma. So, yeah. An interesting... what in the world? Did you see Hakeem Jeffries' speech? Wow, that was what we've been looking for a long time, listening for. Inventive, all the alphabet, powerful words, maturity versus Mar-a-Lago. That's pretty good. And then around here, of course, we have this crazy Ottawa County Commission. Julie and I have talked a lot about what lies behind all this. And the commission even says, now we have a Christian county. Well, good luck. It's their kind of thing. There's all kinds of Christians. Whereas I say, let's not have the Christianity part. That Jesus didn't found that. Let's just have followers of Jesus. I think that'd be nice. Yeah, I think that'd be nice. I think he'd throw those guys out of the temple. I think he'd just pick them up and throw them out. Oh, my goodness. So anyway, finally, they've come out with some research. Oh, we have to have the research. And Julie and I have been saying forever, trying to figure out what motivates all this. And it really does come down to hatred. Hate. They believe in hating that difference. Do you know that Chihuahuas hate Spinonis? Vivian, did you know that? Chihuahuas hate Spinonis. No, they don't. They sniff them. And then they go play. Yeah. Baron Wormser is a wonderful writer. I think I mentioned him before. I probably even said this. And he writes prose, poetry, nonfiction, invented nonfiction, just wonderful stuff. And he's the editor for this collection that Kevin Carey has accepted that I put together. And he started with 92 of my poems, and now there are 52 in the book. So there's 40 poems going out there going, why not me? Why not me? So I'm going to play with those 40 and see if they can find a home. Because, we don't want them on the streets of London, that's for sure. Jeez. Turning page. I've had a couple comments about talking about gratitude. Hold on a second, this is too good. Talking about gratitude last week. Yeah. People like that, I guess. And it reminded me when we moved in here, there was this wonderful fellow painting the walls. He was so good. Everything was... And when he finished and he was leaving, I said, boy, you were really good. And he said, oh, thank you. And I said, no, thank you. And he just kind of stopped and he said, that's the first time in at least 3 years that anybody's thanked me for anything I've done. Whew. He's supposed to paint well, I guess. Well, my dear family, our family friend, University of Kentucky, is really under fire, and it's heartbreaking. When he lost the other night, I haven't felt this, honest to gosh, in 40 years. Something happened that threw me back to being my dad's son when things would go wrong for him coaching. And I was sick to my stomach, and it was strange because it was exactly the same. I guess I knew what his kids would be going through, what his wife would be going through. One guy in the fans had held up a sign, go to Texas, because there's an opening at Texas. They were booing him during the game. Of course, Twitter and all that stuff was vicious. And you know what it's all about? A basketball game. A basketball game. I remember Dad being, there was a story in Sports Illustrated about him, and the guy said to him, tell me a little bit about this and coaching basketball. And he said, oh, I just love it. It's a game. It's like chess or playing checkers or whatever, It's just, I just love the game. I love the strategy. I love playing. I love the competition. Not trying to beat somebody, just competing. Really, it's fascinating. And he said, but what I don't understand are all the people in the stands. Why are they there? Why aren't they out doing something worth doing? Why are they booing and cheering? Why does it matter to them? Why? These are 18 to 22-year-old kids playing a game, and it matters to them. I don't understand it. And then when he retired, he hardly ever went to a game. He worked in his garden, visited people. Don't get it. He wanted to do something of value. We lost Jeff Beck. It's a funny story of a friend of mine. Actually, this guy ends up in both my little stories to finish up this morning. He was in a restaurant, and there were these two young guys behind him who were obviously Jeff Beck fans. And the one guy said, the other night I saw Beck. And the other guy went, Beck? And the guy went, Beck. And he went, Beck? And he went, Beck? He went, oh, dude, Beck. Beck. And one of the great, one of the renowned, that's a better word, and important novelist, Russell Banks, passed this week. And I'd invited him to come to the college. I informed the college about Russell Banks' passing and that he was an incredibly important American novelist and that he had read at Hope, and I thought Hope would be interested, flash from the past and put it out there and something. No, zip. I didn't even hear back from them. Thanks for letting us know. It's like Mark Twain, Mark who? Oh, Mark Hiskis. Yeah, Mark Hiskis. So anyway, Russell Banks comes, and he's with us, and we go down to the same guy who heard the Beck story, Max Milo. We go down to visit him in his house. And Max lives in this house in the cottage in the winter with no heat, of course. And he says to Banks, would you like a drink? And Banks said, oh, that'd be great. He said, what do you got? And he said, I got some whiskey here. I said, okay, yeah, it'd be great. And he says, Max says to Russell, would you like ice? And Banks says, actually, yeah, I would. So Max goes outside. The next thing you know, he comes back in with the drink with this giant icicle. Hey, coming up out of it like an iceberg, and hands it to Banks. And Banks has never, ever forgot that. Never. No. Well, speaking of a thaw, here's a little poem to finish up for today, and I hope you have a nice, sentimental, inane, Make sure that all the things that you think don't matter, matter, because the things that are mattering right now don't matter. They too shall pass. But those friends of yours, keep them around. Yeah. This matters right over here. Eggnog and Vivi. Title: Thinking of Yahweh During a Winter Thaw. The weather has been in the 40s. Certain flowers still holding blooms as if on real good pot. Tea roses hanging in the light, begonias holding to their burgundy and white. Coleus stepping out from the melting ice like little topiary chameleons. I could use something in my own heart. Maybe some unassuming jester sitting there, glad and full of jingles. When things turn unseasonable, no matter what the season, I start making plans to drive north without a map. Without a map, wearing a stocking cap with a moose on it, stopping at a 4-story, 1-star hotel where an 80-year-old pianist plays all night in a 10-table lounge. Well, that's an old poem, right? Map? Are you kidding me? And the flowers blooming at the wrong time? No wonder that was rejected. Oh well. Take care. Try to be cheerful. Be kind.